Economic development leader is coming to Northeast Louisiana. Kenya Ross is here with the details. Kenya?
Yes, Jennifer, we announced yesterday that the Northeast Louisiana Economic Alliance has appointed a new president and CEO. I spoke with him today about how the organization plans to further economic development opportunities in the region.
The residents of Northeast Louisiana have the answers. They know what they want in their communities. So I believe quality economic development involves collaborating, learning from the local elected officials, learning from the residents what they want and support, and then putting together the tools.
The Northeast Louisiana Economic Alliance has wrapped up its national search for a new CEO and president. The organization appointed Rob Cleveland to the new position. Cleveland says increasing wages and investment in the area is the ultimate goal.
We're looking for industries and jobs and careers that pay a higher wage than the regional wage currently. And so that can be certainly advanced manufacturing, it can be logistics. There's a big push right now for data centers. Data centers is a huge industry.
According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, the average weekly wage in the first quarter of 2023 in Ouachita Parish was $928. Cleveland says better opportunities for families, their children, home buying, and something like paying for college starts with a better job.
Going out and trying to recruit new companies to pay higher wages and working with the existing companies that are already there. And all of that starts with better skilled and better educated employees.
And Cleveland's first official day in his new role at the Northeast Louisiana Economic Alliance is July 15th.